Where did that go? Oh my gosh, you see, I need a tweeze. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm here. I'm back. What's up? So no worries. All is well. I don't know what happened, except my phone kicked me out and there was no notification whatsoever, which was weird. Which was a little weird. Very weird. Yeah. That means that somebody's hacked into my phone. That definitely means somebody hacked into my phone. Welcome back to my expanded divine panel of the Infinite Eight to divinely intervene as needed for my highest good, aka the. Yeah. So I went into my channel to view it and yeah. Thank you. I don't know what the frick happened. It just kicked me off. There's no there's no connection issues. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Cuz like I'm using my microphone. Give me a second. Let me let's put it closer. Okay, can you hear me okay? All right. That must be okay. All right, I gotta move some things over and to resituate so I don't have any. There's no like echo, like feedback thing going on, is there for you? Just because when I have it on, I don't. I'm still setting up. I gotta figure this thing out. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. A little quake session. All right, we can put these on the flow. All right, we'll get a little closer. A little closer. You can see everything. Hold it. It's not okay. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. You have haters? Oh, you shared my link on your feed, on your what? Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? They shouldn't have they shouldn't have backdoor access to my phone, you know? Um I didn't know how they could kick me out from my phone. But at the same time, it happened yesterday as well. And I don't know. I just figured at some point you have to realize that that's that's what is it? It's not just loser behavior. It's what is it? It's a sore loser. That's what that is. You see? Yeah, that's what that is. Holy smokes. Oh, so then I am your oracle. Everything that's happening to you is going on with me. Okay. This thing sat on the hanger with this thing all funked up. Okay, so I think that's good. Let me see if I could stick this out. I like to have some kind of thing on the outskirts. So let me see if I can stick this one on the outs. Yeah, they can access your phone through your Wi-Fi and YouTube tracking. Yeah, IP. I think you're right about that. But you know, it's gonna hit them hard. I'm not like your average, you know. I'm not their usual type of victim, and I'm not a victim, period. So they gonna see a little bit of what my gods and I can do. I'm not supposed to do spell work though. But whatever. All right. So we were just seeing here. Um, let me see. There was, I had it here. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. This and justice in reversal. But I figured, the people that are doing this are lower level. I mean, they could be in management, they could have, special access, but I know that I'm well liked. I've checked the energetics of different like top level organizations and not just like business entities, people who have a like other energies, other businesses, other business entities, other conglomerates have an interest in these individuals that I'm talking about, in these entities that I'm talking about. So they're only doing themselves harm. Um, everything is tracked. Just as you put, like, what they say, the internet is forever. It also has its own tracking devices, and who's behind all of that. They can't. They're not that good. There's no one's ever that good. Okay. When it comes to my support system, they've got nothing, nothing to hide them. And so, temperance in reversal and justice in reversal. Okay. So, this is, I think, what I saw last left off was that it's untapped, like intuition, a huge well of it. And it's not saying it's definitely saying that it's accessible. It's just right underneath your nose. Like, don't you see it? It's right there. We're standing right above it. And so there's a lot of that there, okay? And but there's something else to it. Justice in reverse. A huge rush of like a data stream that's available. And only those that are tapped in can access that. And I think that's why energies around here are so like temperamental about having to prove themselves and doing dumb shit like this. Um, yeah, but the crazy thing about that is that it the people that they want to be acknowledged by don't, how do I say it? Their focus is different. They're not going to be looking at the same old. They're going to be looking at those who can access it, not duplicate it. They could care they if anything, they want the source of it. So these energies are already moving themselves even further from um the span of attention that they'd like to attain, because when okay, if you're going to just if you're going to be just happy with somebody who just duplicates the information, there's a whole lot of room for human error there, not just in the timing of delivery, but also the like you can't just paraphrase someone else's inputs without citation. Um, there's a certain honor system that's embedded within our blueprints. And so, um, how do I want to say it? Yeah, these higher ups, these, let's say, elite energetics, are are not concerned with just getting the truth. So they would, um, they're aiming. It's not that they only prefer um, the one that meets the mark. No photocopy, no duplication of it. And so there's that. Mhm. Um, yeah. So with the Lover's card in reverse, we can acknowledge that there's competition between peers of the same likings. Even if we were to, what do you call it? Clone? or duplicate or try to become a doppelganger or whatever to certain energies that we're trying to mirror, uh, or how do I say it? Even other energies have that in mind to kind of shortcut their goals, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because they're already seen for what their intentions are and how they go about things, and um, that's something that they will always resource if you're not looking. So they're dishonorable, they're unreliable, at core level. And what else do you want to say here? These are more of like the ones that are tapped in are likely single, are likely independent, that find the love and the how do I say it? Can self actualize on their own without having to um, pair up with someone else on an intimate level, is uh, that's pure energy. That's purely tapped in. Um, that's efficient. Um, so there's that. Okay, where are we going here? Oh my goodness. Yes. Um, mm, yeah. So, I think part of it is also coming in here earlier so that my data is streamed for the marking of the end of the day, and that way, because like some of these people who are cons, what they'll do is like it's a big win if I have something to say or if we have something to say, and that's out of like the cookie jar, out of the cookie mold, that leans into the start of the day. People will kind of like latch on it, like tackle it, and pretend like it's one of their own, um, uh, because they'll stream about it. Um, uh, at any given time of the day, you've given them that whole allotment to kind of pass it off as their own, because YouTube doesn't account for like timestamps unless you're in the day of, and so they're looking more. This is their only vision of long term, really, is what they'll get away with. So they can pass it off as their own if they. Just make it within that same allotment of a day so that as time progresses, and we grow and whatnot and we elevate, then they can say like, oh yeah, no, that's nothing new. I tapped into that, whatever, it's dumb. That's all it is. It's just dumb. It's child's play. Hmm. So again, there are bigger things happening in this world, and um I'm not gonna minimize what's happening on my local scale. I just do know that there are, amplifications of this kind of energy happening in the macrocosm, and so, that's something that I'm definitely not ignorant to, but these energies definitely are. They don't see that what they're doing is a seed, is a stem of that bullshit that's going on. And, I think this world is awareness is evolving to the point of knowing where um, the core of this problems uh, are coming from. So, there are going to be some modifications in what we attune ourselves um, with, and what we consume. Mhm. like boycotting certain energies. Um, definitely, definitely. Like I have no qualm with what I conveyed to you on that other reader that you spoke about. I've never said anything about her, so I had to think, like second guess or like just recap on it offline to see if that was okay that I did that, and I still felt that same way. I still feel that same way about that energy as well as other readers. Um, it's plastic. It makes what we do um, come off as um, like tacky. Like it. I feel like it degrades um, our craft, and that it pokes fun at it like it's some um, I don't know, like a juvenile display of a circus. Um, mhm, definitely. Mm, yeah. Um, it's it's gross when you really think about it, like as a psychic, and you think about how these people live in their personal lives. There can't be much to it. There definitely can't. Um, it's beyond lame. Uh, it's it feels like a waste of space. It feels like more than just clutter. That's what it feels like to me anyway. Just surface because other people who watch you will also know. Yeah, I mean, like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Like I know I realize I have a lot of room for growth, but so like just knowing that there are certain things that I'm not attuned to just yet, but I don't expect anybody to like bark at me, and so the that's not what I'm going for. But I have enough sense and rationale and intuition to know that those are energies that I not only would refrain from going to for advice, but also entertainment. I I therefore I would not recommend them to um anyone. I don't know. Where are we here? Yeah. Mhm. And I realize that when you tap into one portion of the coven, that it's kind of like beehive mentality. So as long as one gets their foot in the door, then everyone else can try to like leech off of that one that got their foot in the door to be able to like tap in. And so, um, but you weren't attacked because of that previous combo. It's a pattern of that follows me. You guys are. There's so much glare on here. Goodness gracious. Let's put on these. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, thanks. Oh gosh, there's smudges. I can't see. It's making me like a little cross-eyed there. Okay. Um. Okay. Here we go. Hi. And there are others doing themselves a disservice, talking about. Oh gosh, you know what I just realized? I can change the size of my thing. My oh my gosh, I could change the size of my window so I don't have to be lurking onto like one side of my screen that's right behind a lamp. That's what I was doing this whole time. Okay. All right. For readers, I'm going to pass it on as it's happening to them, also to connect with the collective, even if they may be involved. Yep. Okay. So I read that correctly. No, but you weren't attacked because of that previous combo. It's a pattern that follows me because I'm being. It never truly happens to those big accounts. No, it doesn't. Actually, no, there's one. I have to say, can I say it? Like, I have to say it because it's like, I think it's obvious though. Should I say it? Hold on. Let's get a card from here to see what I can say. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Shush. Kadab. Okay, this is not happening here. Okay, 4 of cups in reverse. Okay, so that's the right choice. And then two of swords in reversal, accentuated. Okay, well, that's what's going on there. Okay, so yeah, this is the right choice. I am free to, the road is open for me to vocalize. Okay, so there's this girl who says she's, she also encounters like gang stalking and this and that, and these other accounts are not me. These are the only accounts that I own, and you know, like she says all this stuff, which I've believed her for a while, but then I realized her readings are so cookie cutter. They're the same shit over and over. In fact, she has other channels. Maybe she had to like rectify her situation by creating other channels. I bought that excuse. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But then when I realized her readings are kind of like cookie cutter, to like she'll pull the same readings from 6 months ago and the same headliner and put it onto, like, just refresh it. It's the same headliner, and I'm seeing other readers do that too, like clickbait, where they place sorry, I don't know if this is like echoing. Can you hear me now? But yeah, I've noticed that. I've gone on long enough to notice the patterns. And what was someone say? Oh yeah, so she'll pull these cards out, right? That are like handwritten cards, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. I didn't originate with that idea, but I know it's a trend. And sorry, excuse me. Where's my mouse? Where'd my mouse go? Right here. And so they'll go like they'll show a card, and then it's always like, I want to fuck you so hard, you know, like that shit. Or like, what is it? Um, um, like, I want your kneecaps to touch your forehead. That shit, like that. Like, you know, I'm gonna put you up in a home, and and you're gonna have my babies, and like, you know, like I don't even understand. You know how much of a Virgo I am at heart. When I see them misspell on their cards or mispronounce things that are on their cards, or both. I've given a lot of leeway for that. And because I don't want to be too posh about this arena. Like, you don't have to have a certain level of education, but rather experience, to do what we do. Okay. Um, or let's say formal education. Okay. Um, you just have to have, you have to just start with awareness, and um, I would say diligence is an important thing. Yeah. But experience for sure. Um, And so I let a lot of things slide, but when I keep seeing duplications of, um, variations of "I'm gonna fuck you this, I'm gonna fuck you that." I mean, some people may have an issue with me, cussing, um, by but I use those as far as expression or comedy or emphasis, not like, um, "Look, I'm gonna fuck your brains out." You know, like, what it's just like that, like, I don't know, like, it gets old, like and I realize that, um, at least for me, um, I don't read anything that I can't speak to, um, and so maybe that's her life, maybe that's what she wants, like, maybe that's what she aspires to, as far as where she's at in life, and, so I can't talk down on it too much because there was a phase in my life where, I, like, uh watched a lot of porn, and I'm not saying that that's, like, um, a horrible thing. I mean, there's different phases in your life, right? That are common to everyone. But at the same time, that's something that I don't really I've revisited every now and then, but I don't find, absolute connection with. Um, like That's a separate topic. This is we're not doing a podcast session over here. We're just doing a short, like, run through of assessments. And so, with that energy, I don't know how she grew up, um, but I know that she's only tapped into one aspect of life, because that's all her readings are about. Just meeting people and fucking. That's it. Or somebody wants to fuck you. That's all. Yeah. Oh, but then they say, like, "Oh, this one's not a karmic. See? This one's not a karmic." And, I don't know. Yeah. I don't respect any of those energies at all. So, the ones that usually headline the top, I know that you can't trust them. Like, I can't trust them anyway. Um It's just, yeah, that endless loop of feeding on energy. Mm. It's, what do we call it? It's not aura farming, um, it's aura frauding anyway. That's what it is. Making themselves out to be something and then feeding off of the true energies of others, you know? It's gross. Mhm. Alright, yeah, I mean, I'm proud to be able to get to a certain level where, um like, I'm proud of my content. I know that it is not for everyone and that it makes most of the people in my personal life uncomfortable. And so, like, with extensions of my family, they acknowledge that I exist, but this part really doesn't. None of it, really. Like, none of it. Not one of them has purchased, anything that I've made, um, nor, like, it's just weird how people really try to protect themselves because they have a lot to hide. And so, um, I can't say that I'm really offended anymore, but I'm not gonna pretend like they're something more than what they really are, how they really show up. And, so, anyway, I don't have to go to these You know, I don't have to worry about, or how do I say it? I would feel more shameful going, like, telling people, like, what I do for a living, and my content being like, mm, uh, "Yeah, you want 4 guys wanting to fuck you," you know? Yeah, they wanna fuck you hard. Oh, there's another card that says, "Oh, they wanna fuck you this way," and then they wanna like, what the like, how many variations of that is, like, wow, that's a joke. That's it's no longer entertainment, it's like, that's, when you know that that is a reading from, like, earlier today, is the same thing as last week, as 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 2 years ago, it's the same shit. So, um, I don't have that. 2 of Swords facing the Emperor card. So some people are very, let me see here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have a big boss over here. A big boss that is, that has clocked in or has made himself known to me, um, that is, um not everybody likes this energy, remember? It's the Emperor in reverse, um, but it's a big boss energy, um, who is, remaining kind of, like, detached. Super duper detached, but they're here. They're noticing some things. They're, what is this Emperor wanting to tell me? I mean, I check the energy, they're well intended towards me. So I think they're just trying to hear me out or wanting to hear me out. I guess an emperor of this stature would not, how do I say it? You would only try to if you would want to. So it's the same shit. Greetings. Oh, definitely. 9 of Swords. Okay, so there's a huge emphasis. Okay. So they realize that something is troubling me. There's a huge emphasis on that. That mm, I may not um act like a victim, but I'm certainly targeted, and it is frustrating because, well, it's not like I want to be part of that crowd. I don't, I don't want some larger energy to say, like, say sorry to her and hug and make up. Like, I that's no. Um this is more like, um uh I don't have to publicize what I'm doing. I could just do it on my private accord. I could do that. Um However, I do realize that each and every one of us has to make a living, and I've tried many routes. I've tried many. I've tried many routes. And this seems to be the one that I am kind of urged along um, to further entertain, or indulge in, um, from what my guides say. And so, yeah, it's just that's what I'm doing. And I don't need to have any BFFs here, nor BFs, nor Fs. I don't need any of those. I just don't need the exact opposite of it either. Anyway, here the energy is 6 of Cups, which is kinship energy. Um, yeah, that's ideal, right? An ideal living and learning situation where I'm ready to act and learn and move forward. And I can do this. I can do a night's work without having the horse. Do you see? She's bulked out. Okay. She even has like the Karate Kid thing going on right there. Yeah. And And all I ask for is the peace and the reliability of being surrounded by, decent energies. Mm. And that's not very much to ask for. Um, so what validates these other creators from taking up the space when they can't hold it properly? You know what I mean? What don't you think that even more innovation and creativity can come through by giving those energies a boot so that energies like us can create freely, more openly, and you know what I mean? Like it's like set the tone for other newer energies coming through, more innovative. Um so anyway, there is that. Uh, I mean, as I move along different arenas, it seems as though this isn't very much to ask for, but from what it appears to be, what I've encountered, it makes this look like utopia, almost impossible. Mm. So, moving forward, you explained to YouTube how it affects newer channels, especially younger people with weaker psyches. Yeah, and constant targeting. The feds. The feds have a lot going on, I realized. Um, is are the feds the same as the FBI? Is that just is that just is that synonymous with the FBI? Or is it like in a different facet, or which one is I don't know. Um it is the same. Can I say hold on. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, I can use these. No, I said just to use these. So I thought the feds did like special investigations that had to do with like spiritual war that included spiritual warfare. Are there not any other organizations that do that? Because cybersecurity and cybercrimes, that's all the okay, so that's just the feds. Okay. Um I always forget, like, because it's not my frontal scene. Um uh, but they're the same as the FBI? Like, in full? Okay, because I checked several times, and I checked different associations and organizations that are good with me, that favor me, that find me in favor. I've spoken it in different, wordings, like, different phrasings to make sure that I was wording it right and that the energy was correct and clear to understand the variations between, yes and no. Um Oh, okay. Whoopsie daisy. Anyway, um, um, the only I mean, I ran maybe mm, I don't know, maybe like 2 handfuls of organizations that are well known and secretive, and the only energy that was a no was the FBI. That's the only association or, organization that is not good with me. Maybe I don't know if the other organizations are under the same umbrella, but that one in particular, it was a no. But, like, energy's like, I don't know, can I say? No, I don't have to. Um, but, some that are bigger than the FBI. I thought FBI was, like, one of the mid to smaller ones, not, like, one of the largest ones. But I know that there are bigger ones that are in favor of me. So, it was just strange. I don't know why. I didn't know why. So, let me get some information. Why? Or more information. More information, they said, with regards to that. So, Gifts Unlocked by and for To the Inner Wild, Season 3, Episode 2, A Higher Priestess, Take 2. Patience in reverse and greed in reverse. So, this is something about no, well, it's no waiting, okay? It's like first in line. But it's like it's kind of biblical too. Those who are last shall be first, because like there's greed, right? And reversal. So, what does that have to do with anything, huh? Well, it has the same kind of energy as far as the truth card and the beginning, the like making the calls. So, um, I think this is more about having being tapped into energies very quickly, like at the drop of the dime, like the very first one that gets it. Um, I find it a little hard to believe in that only because I know that there's a lot of different gifted energies out there that can tap into certain things that I have not yet mastered. Like, have you seen like the carpool psychic type of energies where you could just like read your auric fields and tell you, like, oh, your mother tells you, blah, 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 blah. She passed away 12 years ago, didn't she? You know, that kind of like, and she wanted to say that, to keep the dog, like, what the fuck is that? Keep 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 the quilt, or give the quilt to your sister. Like, what some crazy shit like that, and, I'm not there, yet. I don't know, like, but there are certain things that I tap into that are, um, unmistakably accurate, that I don't know. Like, those people know what they're delivering. It's like from here to there, accessing data and transmitting it. I know what I'm delivering to who, and for me, it's like I just say what feels like random shit, and it fits. And maybe that has to do with our personalities, how we comprehend our experience, so that um our certain quirks do not complicate the dynamism between the messaging system. And that's the only thing that I can explain, as far as why I'm not tapped into those type of gifts. So it's not a matter of jealousy. It's just like, why, like, if we're both accurate and we just have different methods, then why is that so? You know? Um, so, like I said, I think with life experiences, it does tap us into how we access and communicate our gifts, or like messages, how we use our gifts. Um, let's get loud. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had so many, like, for months now. uh, yeah, for months now. At least almost like half a year. I've been told, like, not just through my readings, but through other people's readings consecutively, that um I'm to be contacted by certain organizations, to help them out, that I'm gonna have a better job, that I'm gonna, have a very well-paying job, like, insane. Like, I could either go for fame, or I could either, like, with fortune, or I could go like, there's several routes that I can take. Um, and I thought I was going to take, the most stable and purposeful one that does just seem very cookie cutter to, um um accessing a life that was more than just for myself. That I could do something, um um, how do I say it? Um, turn things around so my kids can feel like kids again, you know, without having to reach too deep for that. And, they're getting older, and it's been years like this. It's been years like this, and things have gotten better, of course, but it's the same thing, like, "Well, I don't know how we're gonna get through this month. I don't know how we're gonna get through, um, past this week." And so but I'm here, so and just, like, all these things that, things are just supposed to stabilize, and, I think that's what I find so angering about my second, edition of Partners in Peace and Quiet, where the guy totally fucked up the plan to save his own ass over some fuckery of his own. And, and so, um, yeah, I just, I thought I was going to get apart. And then I realized that some organizations are very, mm, not just cutthroat, but, psychologically gross with how they do things. And maybe they're just waiting things out until I'm in complete and utter desperation. So I will take the bare minimum, and I will give my all, devote my all. And, and so I realize that's just because maybe that's what, 'cause that's what I look like. That's what it looks like what they can get away with. And I'm not into that, whatever organization that is. And so maybe that delayed things because I don't. I don't see it anywhere in the cards, which is fine. I'd rather not. So I try to stay away from doing political readings because, what is it? Why buy the cow if you're going to get the milk for free kind of energy? No thanks. Nope. So, with matters of justice, huh. Um, 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 I just figure with matters of justice, it's maybe best to not dive in too deeply or be overly concerned with the turnout. That I can just glaze over some of the stuff because stuff having to do with the details of it, it just feels like it's long and winding and there's no timetable on it. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, so I don't know. That's why I'm giving myself some space with all of this. I figure, even though I see signs of energies out there that I saw in real life for sure, that I believe I've interacted with in real life in unsuspecting places, areas, situations that I don't even, I don't know what to say about that, because it's all kind of past energies. And I don't know if there's like a rate sheet, like how glass was a glass door has with certain occupations and industries. You can't just look up like, okay, so how much does a psychic cost who works for this organization? All I know is that I've been um given the bare minimum, the bare minimum at every single place just to hold me over. Um, and so, um, I remember this guy at this warehouse, type of job. It was through a temp agency until it was not because, that was one of the ones I realized when you stroke their ego, you could get farther. Um, and so, um, I barely had to do anything. I just um, like as far as saying anything, but just even the hint of like, give me a second. Let me go ahead and blow my nose because like I just feel like a lot right now. Anyway, oh, I forgot. We're not doing the phone thing. We're doing this thing. um, yeah, space is good. Yeah. I often get a certain type here, whether um military, brotherhood, or homeboy. I get a variation of certain types of energies when it comes to males. It's just all good because I I grew up in a very sheltered um environment, and so all of that. I just so it's good to catch up on life. Well, what was I gonna say? I'm definitely safer. I remember, um, what was I saying about that warehouse job? Shit. Fucking fuck. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He wanted to act all generous, right? So he's like, okay, I think I got a place for you. Okay. This was just after me, like him, like being nosy and using my phone number to look up on my personal socials. And And so I kind of suspected that and I wanted to test it out a little bit. I know, shame on me. But I said, yeah, it was like, I don't know, it's a shame. He was kind of attractive, you know? That's all that I said. I just said a little antsy wincy little fucking bit. And then all of a sudden I had a fucking job. Not just a temp job, I had a real job. Right. Um that paved the way like expeditiously. And so and then but it was just a little candid thing, but I said, "If there's a hint." I know I did that, and it wasn't like a test lie, it was like, a candid, like, truth, but, like, I kinda know he's in the room somewhere. I know he's in the room somewhere. I wanna see what this does. And, anyway, and so, like, when it was still a temp job, um, he said, he's like, "Okay, so what is it that you need to in order to get by to really make a living?" And then I was thinking of the numbers. I couldn't really like figure. He's like, "Well, just figure it out and just write it down and just let me know. Like whatever it is, just let me know, and I'll try to meet that." And it didn't take very long, okay? But then I realized, oh, this fucker, okay, all he's gonna do is he's like, if I already knew psychically what the fuck. Okay, so I knew that it was a certain number in order just to like live paycheck to paycheck. No other like bullshit, like no other expendable income, just the bills. That's it. That's a hard number. That's the number that would be most agreeable because if it was ever exceeding that, then it would be like, well, I can what is it? Not that I was leading into that portion, but, like, his dude mentality was like, "Well, I can gamble on betting on another piece of pussy." That's where looking in hindsight, that's where his mindset was. But, like, you just have to really think about it. Like, he would at least have to have a flavor of me in order to get anything above, that point. But like I knew personally that it was he was going to either meet that or do $1 above that. And this dude wanted to feel generous, so he did $1 above that. He did $1 above that. And he was expecting me to be like, anyway, that didn't last very long because that was I learned that he had other psychic abilities too, and that he had no understanding or no respect for boundaries, both in real life and energetically. Okay. And it wasn't just that. Um, he had a very long time girlfriend, I found out, who um, he was not going to get married to. But she has a son, and that he spoke very ill of, that I also learned of. And I knew some other office activities that were happening, and I knew what I was hired to do, both directly and also act as an aggravator, like being pitted against somebody else's interests in him. Like, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, he wanted like a political office harem thing going on. And no, it was not good. Yeah, and so I knew that this girl in the office, should I say all this shit? Hold on. Yes, like, if dude's gonna get all up in my energetic business, for sure. Like, dude, this is not like, for how do I say it? I'm not exaggerating. Like, I can talk about this stuff because, when people have a disrespect for my boundaries, it's like they were all up in my space. So let me tell you a little bit about it without naming names. Well, I realized that people weren't introduced by titles, and it's because they didn't earn their titles righteously. The girl that he was fucking, or fucking around with, or both, had a complete change of identity from start to finish, or start to, current state of working there. I realized that her new favorite color, or her new hair color, or her new tits, or her new whatever, was all to, and her new title, and her new office was all because of his dooming. So, there was that. Okay. And I wasn't trying to become anything like that. I just realized what I was, around, and then there was no, dude, like, seriously, when I got the job, he was so into me that I think his level was a VP, but he put my desk in his office. In his office. His office is not that big, dude. For real, like, it's yeah, that's a lot. So, and I knew that he could read my mind because, first off, I think his desk was over there, and then he put my desk like facing the wall over here, and there's a back entrance right there. So, I remembered I thought in my head, like, oh, I don't. This is before I knew about like anything in his personal life, right? Like, to any of the detail. So I guess it was like the first day that I was, and he's like, I hope you don't mind. I put your desk in my office. It's like, what adventure is this? Anyway, as I'm sitting here, I was like, okay, fine. There's not that much area around, but I guess it's fine. It's like warehouse stuff, right? Okay. And so I was like, I know this guy likes me. And so I was looking like understanding this like in a vanity context. And I was like, if this guy is like wanting like, eye candy, this is not my best side. This is not my best side. Fucking bitch. Anyway, I was like, this is definitely not my best side. Whatever. This is about the work. Okay. And then the next day, or like next 2 days later, he's like, oh, you know what? I just decided that it was better for you to like be facing the door or whatever. So this is my new side with his desk right there. Holy shit. What was that? Oh, whoops. I was like, a magnet bracelet. That's why we wanted some tail for sure. For sure. And so, um, just like it was a bunch like a group of dudes. So like they knew what was up or whatever. And like he would have um me so close by at every single thing and that this and that that I think one of the guys he said something like, "Oh, I thought he would have bought you a cowbell by now." I didn't quite understand it because I was like, I'm just trying to do the job, right? And I realized these people really tapped into what was going on. Yeah. And this wasn't like all fun and games and jokes and this and that. Just because there were a lot of like heinous things that had happened, but like, okay, um, um, hey, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff that happened. I don't even know if I should talk about all of this. This is more like podcast style of energy. So let's just go ahead and move forward. I can always talk about it later because the other stuff is just like, anyway. Knight of Wands in reverse. That is a player energy, a juvenile player. They won't grow up. They're just, trying to wrestle the dragon, wrestle the lizard. What the fuck? Choke the lizard. Oh my god. Do you see? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's in reversal. Anyway, let's move forward. Okay. We're in about like an hour again, so I think we're almost done here. The morning show with Drew Barrymore and Jennifer Aniston explains it too. Yeah, okay. So they just wanted some tail. In fact, every interview that I was on that involved males, that's what they were looking for. That's what they were looking for. And it seems so crazy. That's why I think I got into the industry partially, is because not only was it just like flopping, like that's not what I'm here for, you know what I mean? That's not my tone that I'm giving off. And for anyone that will fill the position, it's like a dime a dozen. So they can get somebody else. And so that's fine. Like I'm not going to do that for, I don't know. How much were these jobs paying range from? Like anywhere from what was it? 25 to 35 an hour. Yeah. Uh, like that's so crazy. That's so crazy for someone to be interviewing at like, okay, so let me think about it. Okay. So if they're wanting to fuck around with somebody, it's going to be like every other day or every day type of energy. But like, okay, starters, okay. Two a couple times a week, but let's just average it out to every other day, right? And then you think about like the longevity of that, and then you balance it out. So they just want an in-house hooker. That's what they want. And so I realized, okay, well, I need to make a living off of like some kind of funds. And I've tried even going to minimum wage jobs, and it's not happening. It's not happening. And so, what was I gonna say? So then, I went to establishments, and I remember talking with one of the customers there, and I said, it's the same thing as it's the same as same type of hustling, like the same thing that you would, same kind of dynamism as in the office. And he was like, I guess, like he could not fucking understand it. And how would I expect him to? Like it's a guy. It's an average guy who came in with a good education and and he's a guy. He's a white guy. He like how the fuck would he know unless he's um engaging in it, you know what I mean? Um so he would have to be like managerial in a certain sense to kind of really know what I'm talking about. Um and so anyway, like I felt dumb there for a second, but I do realize that how would you know if you're blind to that, you're only there for what you're there for. Um, and everything else is gossip and hearsay and just entertainment. They're just fillers. And so they're privileged enough to not to have to like deal with that shit. Um, hold on. Let me just. Yeah, there's too much ceiling going on there. Um, yeah, definitely vultures. And I've applied to, things that like, dude, I told you. I've had like 15 to 20 years experience in a certain avenue. And I thought that I could do well by applying to certain industries that are known to have money. And so I did that, but then there's jerks everywhere. And I just I don't know, it just seemed weird playing a part when it's doing the like, when you're expected to do the same shit, why not do that for the possibility of more money? Like, if we're just going to look at it logically, without, "Oh, that's shameful that you'd have to do that." And like I said in past readings, nobody ever said shit about Forrest Gump's, mom, fucking the principal in order for Forrest to get a better education. You know what I mean? This is me just trying to survive, not saying that I'm fucking anybody, but I'm just saying, like, why does she get the, like, free pass card? Is it 'cause that she looks like how she is? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are other schools out there for Forrest too, mind you. She was just a better education that she was doing, like, why is it that there's so much scrutiny over me just having to survive, um, doing my thing? Like, "Oh, because you'd like to not know about what's going on in a true office environment?" Like, I don't understand where people, um, come from trying to judge me. So, anyway, whatevs, whatevs. You see a woman in short skirts and high heels. Yeah, yeah, in the workplace for sure. That's become more prevalent these days. Um, who's got kids to 4 different women? 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, what's going on here? What we were talking about? Um, so yeah, this is talking about opportunities. Some loss, but more so the prominent portion in this is that there's much more upcoming. Okay, so sometimes we have to like go through and just sort through. It's like thrift shopping, basically, with a variety, like an array, like a massive volume to go through. And so, it's just sorting through all of that to get your winning pieces. But, even that, like, I haven't even like, I have no need to shop for clothes or this and that, like, even to justify weight fluctuations. I don't need to do that. I don't have any desire to do that. So, what's my new life now? Mm, so this is about a higher priestess, okay? Not just thinking about the here and now. So I'm already there. I'm not just thinking about the here and now, but the here and now certainly does matter. So what they're saying is, okay, beyond looking at the portion of having to afford life, what do you want to do to aspire for anything else? And it's like, dude, can we just like meet the one piece first? Can we get there first and then I will think about the rest? Cuz I'm concerned about this part. This first part, this first leg of the job. Um, yeah. So, like, um, I think all his pay goes on child support for sure. For sure. Definitely. There maybe here maybe isn't right. I'm not sure whatsoever, but you're very cool, in my opinion. Can do a lot of stuffs anywhere. Moving on. For sure. Um, so I haven't X'd out all of my, all of the options. I just know that I am not to go back to what I used to, where I used to be before. I'm not, like, if I even go back to certain arenas of life, I am not to go back to the exact places that I've been before. Did he try to get me drunk? Who? Who? Um, I don't know who. Some Decepticons on chat. No, we didn't have arrangements like that. I never went out with him. Where's my drink top here? Where'd my drink top go? Here we go. No, not the guy in office. But anyway, yeah. See, like, you don't understand about that. Like the nature of the environment between office and that. Like, the expectations are the same, basically. And so if you don't deliver, you don't continue. That kind of thing. Yeah. So now, because of that, I just feel like you can't really trust people who are employed, who can afford this and that. Like, I live in a place that have, like, a lot of, like, clean cut people. Very, not just white collar, but very, very clean cut people. They must have maids, or, like, I don't know if that's the vibe in my arena, but I do know that um people are privileged enough to have um to afford a lot of shit, and uh Excuse me. And so you wonder, like, what do they do for a living? Like, and who are they fucking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is really, 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 really going on? Um, I don't, I don't understand it. Um, so anyway, let's get some more information, upcoming things for me. Like, I don't know why I didn't receive these parts working for certain groupings, like associations or whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened. And there should be enough funding to allow me to at least get my foot in the door. Like even some interns get paid. Like why is it like it's like either all or nothing for me? What's happening? Like there can't be that much like witchcraft, voodoo, black magic, whatever the fuck against me in order for me to lose out on all of that, you know, on all of these opportunities. And if so, why isn't anybody doing anything about it? Like, why, why is it like this? And I guess I recently learned that there are some practitioners identified and at least spoke about certain bullshit energies in the family. So, 10 of Cups, King of Wands extroverted, and King of Cups inverted. Well, I have something that a lot of people do not have. So, regardless of money, I have the energy of fulfillment. Absolute glorious happiness. Glorious, glorious happiness. I'm getting sticky hot. Who's sticky hot over here? I'm feeling hot. This is 10 of Cups happiness. All this is where everyone can share in it. It's just absolutely glorious, okay? It's not just a sunny day. It doesn't even have to be a sunny day. It's fucking 10 of Cups. I am enjoying whatever today is. That's what that is. Not only do I have people looking out for me, but they're king energy. King of wands looking out for my best interest in the future, extroverted. Then I have introverted, king of cups looking out for me like on my inner plane, my health and wellness. So I have energies really looking out for me that are that will do something about it. Divine masculines are action oriented solutions or you know solutions bound, and that's wonderful. That makes total sense. So like what the hell? What are you talking about? You know, what are you like? What are you crying about? I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. I forgot. hmm Um. hmm. So yeah, all queens, you understand. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely people. Absolutely, yeah. People who dismiss obvious wrongs witnessed right in front of their eyes because they don't want the yep, they don't want the drama. Sorry, I'm just getting I need to air out the tent. This is the beauty of not having big boobies. Big jugulars. That's the best part of this. Anyway. And you know, like when I was in high school, all the girls that had big old titties, they would say, well, they would always complain about, well, my shirts might like the clothes don't fit right because then they're too tight up here and then little here, and it's like, oh, how humble of you, how humble of you to say that there's something wrong in your life because things don't fit properly. Oh, it's so hard to find something. Um, and then the more proper thing would be is like because when you're like a teenager or whatnot, like it is glorious to have big old titties. It is glorious. I mean, especially if like you're in college, okay. Maybe not so much in high school because there's like a lot of, you know, just a lot of attention that you don't necessarily need. But anyway, you're popular, Miss Popular. You're popular. They would say something like, "Oh, you don't have to worry about sagging," and like my back hurts all the time. Oh, like it's and um and so that was a stage in my life that I kind of envied for a long time. Not I don't know if I envied, but something that I longed for, especially in the golden era of, Victoria's Secret. And so that shit brainwashes you. And if it brainwashes you as a female, you can only imagine what it does for males. Like, yeah, I don't even think they would call it brainwashing. They would just be like, ooh, la 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 la. That shit stays with you. I can at least speak for myself. And so I think I grew out of the muchness of that. Like, oh, like you don't have to worry about sagging this and that. But now that I see it, I feel okay. Like there's so much more in life. Like and when you realize the psychology of sex in pertaining to aesthetics, like you no longer are, or at least for me, I was no longer fixated to looking a certain way, like having the big titty effect. Like you girls have the big titties, you go with your big titty self. With your titty size, you go on and make peace with the world. everybody, you just do your thing. And so um I'm glad that without the fixation on that I can pay attention to my real assets. And so I mean, like, my other assets, or just whatever. Okay. It's life is so much better. You feel so much more attractive when you pay attention to your own assets. And so why did we start with that? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, because it was hot. Simply because it was hot. And I will say, in hindsight, because I get so heated at certain times, the boobage sweat must be very, very real. Um, yeah, definitely. So I applaud myself for however I am. Yeah. Yay! Okay, moving on. Okay, moving on. And I realized, like, that stuff was like, that was definitely brainwashing. When you get into certain establishments, like, at first you think that you have to fit a certain way. And then you realize, no, no. What people find attractive is really just confidence, and just like rocking it in your confidence. Like, it doesn't matter if you have, like, whatever the beauty standards there are, it is out the fucking door. At first glance, it is correct. Like, it, at first glance, like, if you are there for like a certain bachelor party and you have something in mind for like certain aesthetics, there are like cookie cutter forms in which like people are, but dominantly, even outside of the establishment, all people really like are really, really into is straight up confidence, not um uh like in what you've got, not what you're pretending to be, what you've got, and like rocking it at that, and like almost effortless too. Okay. So, that's what I learned in and out of the establishment, but it was, you would think that um the establishment would have that, like, it opens your eyes to like really that part of it. And so, like, there are all kinds of different people there, all different kinds of performers. And I received a lot of accolades from different performers, and so I was just shocked by it, and a lot of things that I don't realize too. Like, um, one of them, she said that you have a certain look, like, that nobody else does. Like, you have a different look. Like, it's something that cannot be duplicated. Like, just when you compare, like, oh, that person looks like so and so. They're attractive because of the familiarity, the association. And so she said that I had that especially going for me. I think she was just trying to cheer me up. Maybe it was a bad day or whatever. Or I was just like, flexing between this outfit or that outfit or whatever. Anyway, she was one of the nicer ones, but um yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things, it wasn't there's just a lot of things that go on. And so, as far as self-perception, um, um, I think I really just settled into myself after going through that relationship and just having to say to like a lot of life shifts and being now in the age range that I'm at and then the timing of when I entered establishments, um, just I think that's where it really cemented for me. Um, that you could be in a long-term relationship and be fit as fuck and have like the nicest ass ever, and be like young and youthful and radiant and very supportive, and still that doesn't mean shit to somebody. You could spend the rest of your life with them, and even the longevity, even furthering out the opportunity of staying with it, it would mean even less to them. And then you realize your worth and you rocket someplace else, and and you get much farther with that in acknowledgement. You somehow become more valued, and it's not just the aesthetics. It's like it's just the fucking energy. And so either you get it or you don't. And and so at least in this round, I get myself a lot more. So I got me. I got me at first, at in first seating. Um, but like I said, it took a lot of experience for me to finally be settled with like how I am, including like my oddities, like my feet. For sure, for sure. So going back to these cards, like it is wonderful to see this. It's wonderful to see this because people try to pay for this shit through gold digging, through whatever. They try to pay for the impressions of it. The like even if it's fake, I will try to get there kind of energy, and I've got it. So like, what the fuck are you crying about again, Tina? I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. Um, for sure. You're so sweet. Thank you. I'm so used to being around dudes that are like, well, that's weird, or they don't say anything, right? Um, uh, but the way you said it, it happens better alone than in bad company, for sure. Like i- one thing, like if I read between the lines, and it's of no harm, but um and some dudes, like, think back, they're like, "Oh, well, it's a shame it had to happen. That realization had to happen in that kind of atmosphere, under those terms." But, in a more positive way, um, it's definitely, um, uh, finally to emerge on its own for sure. But there are better places that it can happen. Mm, yeah, the thing is that when you're alone, you don't really, um, there's still an element of like being outside of yourself or not rationalizing having to look in the mirror so often. Or, it's just like, um, all I gotta say is there was some heavy, bad energies around me that I had to remove, and some of them are still very determined, and it's weird because I feel like the friend that I let go of 20 some odd years is a lot more adamant and fixated over having to mess with my energy and fuck with my life than my actual ex. You see, like, do you know how crazy that is? I mean, I'm glad that my ex, has like a I know that there's 8 of Wands, communication. Okay. It's good to talk about these things, okay? So, there's a certain part of escapism that I understand within my ex, um, that allows that there's just like this if there's any possibility for him to like forward on his own, it's a matter of escapism in like, in another realm. And that's how he'll like will kind of be apart. But then for these female energies that are very fixated, it's scary. It's like psycho energy. I don't even know how to describe it. But I'm not sure yet how to resolve what's going on with all of that. I know as tapped in, they said that all I got to do is, let them kill each other on their own, basically. Let them, um, let them die off on their own. Um, but for me, like, I don't know if, it feels like I'm just in this loop until I say something like transpire for real. Um, it feels like they're just running amok in my life. I don't know. So I'm not really trying to speed dial anything because it doesn't. I don't know. Let's get some cards. Let's see what else needs to be said out of this. Okay, okay. Ouch. I understand if I block them out, but like, what do you? Um, the past couple of weeks have been like all sleeping spells, like, um, um, I'll wake up, I'll make myself a meal, my son a meal, and then I'll eat, and then I'll feel really, really, really fucking sleepy. Then I'll have to go to sleep again. And then wake up when maybe there's like 30 minutes to an hour left in a sunny day, and then it's just like I don't understand where all the time goes now. I shouldn't be that tired or that sleepy, or my room shouldn't feel so cold all of a sudden to the point where it freezes me up again. And then how to question all of these dicks within secret societies that I have to deal with. So I think that's why people have stepped in for me, so they can't fuck with me any further. But they still have this edge where they feel like they can in some way. But I don't control everything, so um mm. Oh yeah, I do remember that saying, Winston Churchill. Nothing lasts forever, for sure. Well, thank you. Give me a second, though. Mm. Anyway, yeah, this part is ongoing. It's supposed to be done with, though. I hear through the grapevine that they're getting a lot of karma coming through. But I don't know. I feel like I'm in limbo. Yeah. So anyway, what is this? Queen of Cups, upright, and Page of Swords. So anyway, with or without all the tears, I'm good. I'm in tip top shape. You see, tip shop ship shape top tip top ship shape. Is that what that is? Anyway, I'm learning. I'm doing good and just fine. Honestly, when it comes to reality, not only do I have this backing as proof, but in solid clarity, of what's I have a lot going on for me. I have a lot going for me. So whether or not, like, even though it's it sucks not to see something come through just yet. And you know, these hackers come through and still kind of like throw things off a bit. I don't know, there's bigger things in life. So when things come for me, it will come. But in the meantime, I don't have um like, I do know that I have strong allies. I know I do, because I know it could be far fucking worse. I know it could be far fucking worse. And so out of all of the elite groups that I have checked in with, as far as who I'm good with, who I have favor with, who favors me, however wording you want to put it, it's all good between me and these organizations. That there's only one that is a no. I think there's because of fluctuating standards or inconsistencies that almost like the reptilians. Like I would kind of equal, like parallel what how I am, or how the FBI is with me, as reptilians are with me. Okay, some are good, some are not, sometimes this, sometimes that, blah 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 blah. But overall, because of the inconsistencies, I would have to say no. Okay, but everyone else is good, and that's why I know, like, I'm good, I'm safe. You know, this is more than you can ask for, even like within mafia material, and that includes, I have like the go ahead from the mafia. I have the blessings. So that's wonderful. That's more than just flattery, but that's like otherworldly to me, because like I said, I don't know those terms. uh, I know. Mm, yes, navigating. You were sleeping endlessly too? But that's not normal. You gotta understand, that's not normal. That's not something else. There's another energy. I can feel it. Like my appetites have changed. Um, a lot of things. Like, I should be tubbly, bubbly. Um, my physique should be like a lot more bulbous now. I told you I would eat. I don't even know if I gave you a number on this. Like, maybe, because like we're talking Christmas, okay? So 8 to 10 chocolates a day, maybe one cookie, maybe some ice cream, maybe I mean, regular meals too. But like, that's a lot to from nothing to that. You're fucking crazy. And then every now and then I would just do like lower body work for maybe 20 minutes. Once a week, maybe twice a week. That does no. I should be a big girl right now. Oh, you're fighting it. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. Body needs balance. The body needs balance, but this is way too coincidental for all of us to be going through shit like that. No, 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 no. No. It's like somebody with a certain gift comes through, and they go through a crowd and they go, "You're it, you're it, you're it, you're it, you're it," and then all of you sleeping spells, that kind of energy. That's what that is. Like, I don't like being tagged to siphon off of, because this is not normal. I know my body. I know how I am, and I know even how my body normally sweats, and this is weird shit. Oh, really? No? Are you local? Oh, God. I did not wash my hair, as you can see. It's okay. This feels a lot better, though. That's a whole lot. Ballooned, but no. It happened. Okay. What was that all about? The fuck? Where's my... I don't even know where my phone went. Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Anyway, however, I ended up gaining confidence and the comparability of confidence, like the developments of Tina. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I've been through a lot, and even though it's odd to say, each realm was an improvement from its prior existence, and so I'm just gonna say that was good. I mean, it's good to experience these things in full out, so that when it comes time to dealing with certain assholes in life, if they're gonna try to be assholes to me, I don't have to lose my cool. You know, I don't have to lose my shit over somebody that hasn't lived through similar experiences and trying to pass it off as they know more than I do. So, I just or are more educated because they didn't do that in life. I can just kind of, I don't know, just let it slide, because they don't know what they don't know, and once they do, they're gonna have to pay for my support. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. All right. I think that's it for now. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you to my supporters for sure. All right. So, takeaways time or closing comments? No, we can go into takeaways now. It's been a long one. It's been a doozy. Okay. So, first deck. Okay, something to aspire to. First deck. Okay, second deck. This deck. Third deck. Fourth deck. Okay. Okay, first deck. Psh, what is it gotta say? Okay. Oh, they do? Yeah, I have an unnatural liking for Masons. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where that. I think it comes from like the understanding of Boy Scouts, and then how they earn up to the level of Eagle Scouts. I have a thing for that, almost as equal to skaters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't understand, but I do. And so I try not to have like, I try to scrub that out of my mind, but that's something that's I don't know why that, like how people have a thing for people like in I don't know, cop uniforms or this and that. I don't know why my mind is like that, but it's like that. Okay, bottom of the deck is this, everyone's feasting and all of that in reversal right there, okay? Oh, my boo-boo is getting better. Yeah, okay, that's why it doesn't hurt. Okay, anyway, everyone's feasting, they're on the go, etc. So this is the new life to transpire. It's gonna happen, don't you worry, okay? Right now, things are being built. Okay. Top of the deck, no secret to the sauce. A new commitment, a new venture for sure. Okay. Fantastic. I mean, I have to be careful with stuff like that because it's like, um, I know I can get myself into trouble like that, trying to group certain things. Like I wouldn't say that it's a type, but I think the understanding surrounding it, what I conceive it to be versus what it actually is in real life, there's variances with every group. And so like I can't have that I can't um I can't do that to myself, as far as what I like and what I don't like or what I'm into or interested in because I realize uh I know warlocks have like certain gifts, but I don't know why I have a certain attraction towards warlocks. Like it's weird. It's fucking weird. Like they don't have to introduce themselves as warlocks. I kind of know. I should know. And they try to use their oogity boogities on me, but and I think that's where it comes from, like their oogity boogities, but it's more than that. It's I mean, I think it's just as much as like they see me as a sorceress. It's funny. But anyway, let's move on. Not everybody understands. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Magician in reverse. Talk about warlocks and all that shit. Okay. Top of the deck is Seven of Swords. Maybe that's what spirit does to me. It's like, okay, we know that there's a certain magnetism. You have a thing. So at least, it's a hookup to a different hookup is what spirit is saying. Like, okay. You identify and you hand them over. If they're gonna continue the fuckery with you, you hand them over. That's basically it. Clean cut. Bottom of the deck. And this is also kind of living experiences that I haven't lived before, like that warehouse VP manager thing going on. Like I don't know that people could have, be that psychic, I didn't know there's certain gifts you test out on each other, okay? Anyway, Two of Pentacles in reversal on the bottom. Top of the deck is Three of Swords. Where is this going? God damn. Okay. This is getting myself into trouble. That's what that is, okay? Well, maybe not. Let me just see here. Loading. More so loading, okay? And let me just check back here. Okay, let's shift the energy, okay? Let's shift the energy back over here. Okay. It doesn't always have to be what I just told you about straight up front, okay? This can be somebody that is disciplined with their magic in a way of like I don't always do my abracadabras. I show up when I choose to show up. When I say it's okay to do so. When I feel like the situation warrants my presence, I will be there. I will be there with bells on. Maybe not whistles, but I'll do the most I'll come through when I feel it's fit, okay? And I will do so like almost like stealing home base. I will, I'll be there like in an instant. Like how'd you get here? I don't share those secrets. I have ways. Okay. And then there's loading, okay? This is not in balance here. Everything is in balance, okay? I trust in spirit. Everything is good, okay? Everything is truly in order, okay? Things are just loading to the next best opportunity. Three of Swords, though. Because of the loading process, it may feel a little personal. It may feel a little personal. It may feel like you may feel some disappointment, but understand that life has its own rhythm, okay? Remember, this is the higher priestess, okay? Bottom of the deck, power, okay? This is personal power. I would normally get like personal power like that, but this is power in a way that like there's so much personal power that it shows on the outskirts. It's obvious. The lady in reversal. So stop being so rigid. Part of being practical is being flexible. So you don't have to be like, I have to send that email right now or between now and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Da 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 da. No, no, no. Okay? There's more flexibility in life than just that, okay? Okay. All right. I have graduated certain areas of my life in order to know that there are certain, like, there's a lot of safe areas. Okay. Okay. All right. So, two takeaways from my super duper refined divine collective. First one. This is moving along in a journey, but it's in reverse. It looks more like a hippie thing, but anyway, that's an upright. Okay, so it's in reversal. Okay, clarified by extroverted, 8 of Wands. What is that mean for my super duper refined divine collective? Oh, there's 3. Okay. Okay, this is extroverted. 9 of Wands in reversal, extroverted. The Lover's card in reversal, and 2 of Wands in reversal. What the heck? From my super duper refined divine collective. Expansion. Okay, so this is expansion into a new area, an unfamiliar territory. Yeah, new terrain where the elements are undefined. And within that, not everyone's going to understand, nor can they pretend to understand. And before you allow them to leave you, you have to leave them. That kind of energy. You see, there's a Lover's card in reverse. They don't understand, nor can they pretend to. They cannot comprehend it. So 9 of Wands in reversal, extroverted, is saying like, I verified the energy, and they said that you have to, like, you can't show up for them, because, how do I say it? When you look at the truth of the matter, when they don't understand, they can't show up for you. Um, that's what that is. So you have to kind of know how to let go of it first. Because the other experiences, so if you allow room for that, like extend the relationship even further, um, they wouldn't know how to show up for you. And if they did, they wouldn't know how to be there. You would feel like you're alone in that room, in that space. Now, if you feel like you need those kind of experiences, which life tells me at this point you don't really like, you don't need to learn through that. That's conceived of as just fillers for that journey in life. So you can scoop that out, scoop those innards out, and you can just stop showing up for that kind of relationship that I wouldn't call faulty. It would just be saying that those are different life paths, those are different life experiences. And so this is where it diverges. Like, and so you just, I wouldn't say grow out of people, you just grow beyond them. And that's part of it. Yeah, because this new journey is something that you're being called to. Hmm. Mm. And it's not the type of adventure where you just like careless wanderings. Um, like I said, not everyone will understand it. Okay. So your second takeaway is again in reversal. This is where you water each other. Hmm. Okay, it says in reversal, but let me double check here. Yeah, so that's still also upcoming. Like it's okay. Ten of Swords. Let me see here. Two of Cups in reverse. I don't know if it's upcoming or if it's already here. Let me just double check here. Maybe that's a call to action because, like, these two other cards, I don't know, dude. What the fuck is this? Is this current? Just these line up. Just this line up. Give me a second. This is the one here. What the heck? It's saying this is current energy. Okay. Current energy, this is where there's a need to hold on, let me double check here. This is complicated. That's what this is. This is everybody out for their own, and everybody's just fucking around. What is this? So ideally, utopian version, we water into each other. We fuel each other's growth. However, everyone's out to, kill off the next person. So there's more for me. There's more budget. There's more this and that. Run leaner. Anyway, Two of Cups. This is broken partnerships or having to let go of some. Running leaner. And kind of becoming more involved. And so there's that kind of fuckery going on. Within close premises, not everybody's gonna get into this, get down with it, or maybe they'll look the other way, but that's the current energy, and that's internal is what they're saying. The previous to that was external and upcoming. Okay. So they gave you the good news first, which is what's upcoming. I mean, the only bad part of it is that you have to let go, or we have to let go of people who just simply don't understand. Save us the time and the energy. Okay. That's weird. That's soap opera energy. Like a person dies and then break up and then fucking and then there's a lot of, and then just drama, like not watering into each other, obviously. Just there's a lot going on here on the local plane. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about that. Let me see if there's anything else. No, nothing else to say with that. Okay. 2 takeaways for my partners in peace and quiet, which includes myself. 2. We'll do 1. Yeah, 1. Okay. First one. A lot of talking, a lot of romancing, a lot of that stuff, close proximities. I mean, sexual attraction doesn't always have to be demonized in all of this, but it's an accentuating factor. And I guess if you have to look at these 3 options, whether having to kill someone off or be killed off or break up in a relationship or get some nookie, that's not, getting nookie isn't always a bad thing. Okay, especially with these 3 options. But like, how are you going to identify the breakup type of energy is something foul? If it's needed, if it's great, then hooray, then good. Like when you get reintroduced to somebody and you say like, "Oh yeah, I had a divorce," you say congratulations, or do you say like, "Oh, I'm sorry"? What's the response to that? Anyway, next clarifier. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I don't know, wait. Well, this is external, so I don't know what else to say about that until we cross that bridge here. Okay. Verified by. Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, what this is saying is like things are not always what they seem as bad as they seem. So don't demonize a certain arena or a certain facet of a picture that is clearly troubled. Don't dissect just one portion and say that like you must be bad because everything else is like gone to shit. So, there's that. Okay. I mean, from what I'm looking at so far. Okay. Clarifying that. Abundance and reversal. Um, what is that? I think that's a sense of personal worth. Right after the Five of Pentacles in reverse, you see the mirror is shattered. Right there. So it's in reversal as far as well, it's abundance mindset, yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh, you know what this is saying also? Um, so other than the fact that not this is what keeps the story going as far as like a telenovela. Like, things are not always what they seem, and you don't have to demonize a certain facet, realm of life because the rest of your life seems to like deemed to shit. This is also looking at the other half, separating the four cards. Um, this is just saying that, um, okay, so there's there's a great deal of abundance, not just in um, looking at a reflection of self, but the true reflection of self, like the greater realm of abundance, is seeing the reflection not in something inanimate, like but also like a reflection of self through others, especially younglings, the impression of oneself. That's where the abundance is really identified. So like when things are truly to shit, and let's say you don't really have to put all of your eggs in this one basket of possibilities and gambling, that there's a safety net in this portion. For sure. Like, that's always something great to have to fall back on that nobody can really take away from you. Okay. All right, 3 takeaways for me. First one, um it's in reversal. And upright, it looks like a extraterrestrial type of energy, but like a knight of swords type of energy going through the records, like Akashic records. This is like a high priestess version of the cosmic energy, cosmic realm. hmm So it's came in reversal. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, yeah. So I'm in touch with a greater sense of awareness with these energies. It's kind of laying dormant in me, these type of connections. It's only a matter of time that I will be able to further access those energies. I mean, I do kind of, but everything's so blurred against all of the shit that's going on around me, especially historically. I only know this is because the hangman came in and its reversal form. So this is enlightenment. This is a sense of awareness. You can't even really see it within the scope because there's no, like halo around this energy, as it normally does have. Um yeah. Like, you can't see it in plain sight, but it is for real, for real. Um okay, so the sense of awareness here. Okay, so a sense of awakening. I have a hint that I'm meant for something greater. And so all of this stuff isn't like I said before, like, oh my god, Tina, in hindsight, you cried over not having a Christmas tree like before at the event, and then after it was just like nothing. Like, that was one less cleanup. But other than that, like, it didn't make or break anything, you know? So same essence in this. Okay. Okay, clarify by. Four of Wands. Okay, self-realization. Okay, so they're like, okay, you're catching on, Tina. You're catching on. Okay, this is your new establishment. This is your new like formation. You're getting it. Like you're what is it? So even where I stand, I only comprehend a fraction of where I'm supposed to be, or like what my purpose is in life. Okay. Destruction in reverse. Okay, so this is refortifying, or this is fortitude. Okay, all right. So, all right, this is just I wouldn't say bulking up. It's just becoming more firm that there's more than just better things out there for me, because it's not the regular, degular better things. It's otherworldly better. Yeah. So don't standardize and corner myself into like one aspect of how it's going to be. Yeah, there's a huge flow of this is ancestral as well. There's hidden faces in these waterfalls, as you can see as you get closer and closer. Yeah, definitely. So and that came in upright. So something's already activated. It's already in flow. Okay, clarified by. Nine of Cups. So it's basically saying, don't worry, be happy. Okay. Seahorses already shown here as well. There's a throne down here. Did you notice that? Look at that. That looks like the Four of Cups right there. The presentation, like all four cups are bad. Like, that's crazy. I never noticed that. Oh, he's wearing a Santa's hat too. I mean, that's Tina right there. It's like last month. What the heck? When everything's actually like okay. There could be worse places. Like if I stayed in a place for too long, shit would go down like crazy. Crazy. You have no idea. The Empress in reverse. Like in dormancy, you know, basically. Tina, you're like yeah. You're acting like the whole world's on fire. There are much bigger things happening in life. You are safe. Like you hardly even know it. You're safe. We're protecting you. Okay. 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 Frustration in reverse. Okay. So this is a huge relief in knowing that things are going to be better than just fine, better than just okay. 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 Third takeaway. Everything will be all right. Yes. The Nine of Cups. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, third takeaway. Okay. It's in reversal. Someone riding off into the sunset. Or wait a minute, what the heck is going on? What? Well, this is a Chariot card, being able to move forward. And, like, the vehicle is going to be a very good representation of the actual person, the motive, like the source. See, this, you see, it's in reversal. So they said just chill right now. Just chill right now. Yeah. Maybe there's just so much crazy chaos going, like, happening that I don't really see it all because I'm not as well versed as some who can really, really see the auric fields or see the unseen. More like maybe like there's a lot going on that I'm not fully tapped into just yet. I don't know. Like there's a lot of things that can happen. So maybe it's that I just don't realize how protected I am, even in this neighborhood, even just like being able to sleep undisturbed. My house isn't like being broken into and like all this, like a lot of heinous shit can happen, Like so maybe it's that. Imagine going to jail for 20 years and you're innocent. I know this guy, he's a millionaire, and now that would have been insane. Yeah. Okay. All right. They don't just pull out the chariot like another like variation of a chariot card for no reason, especially after all of this, especially with Empress and like in dormancy. Like maybe it's best that I don't have my full on powers like shown just yet or revealed just yet because there are some crazies out there. If we're just talking about crazies when people are off meds or on meds or like like if there are biological issues with people, that's something that we do see. Can you imagine energetically on a spiritual level if somebody is like really off key to that degree? Yeah, so maybe it's probably best that I don't alert the surroundings of, my full scope. So I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, it's navigating elsewhere here. Yeah, so definitely I'm protected. Everywhere I go, I am protected. This is more than just extraterrestrials tapping in and ensuring safety. This is there's something bigger happening, and it's not just the macrocosmic like ongoings. There's like political ongoings. There's something deeper happening, and sometimes the macrocosmic like news is cover and distraction for what's going on within our locality. So just there are bigger things happening. So but this is true. This is kind of like I'm under the protection or the command of something that's very otherworldly. You don't often ever see that in Six of Wands. Um, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So continue taking care of yourself in this interim. How long is this interim in? Like, I don't understand. How is this even working out? Like, what is this? Like, if somebody were just to tell me, you're under the safety and guise of this and that. We need you to lay low, okay, for this amount of time up to this and like this range of window. Here are your funds to last you to this. This envelope is going to this for this period. This is envelope is going to that for that period. And this is your petty cash, and it should only go to this and this, okay? And then and so you are not allowed to go to these places and those places. You can go to these 3 places, but only during the times of this and that. Like, if people were just supposed to just inform me of this shit, maybe, like, I would be better in cooperation and not losing my shit. So what is I don't understand. Why am I the last person to find out about this? I don't know, like, let's see. There are bigger things happening. So, stop, look, and listen in reversal. Okay. I believe that's talking about working on my triggers. Working on my triggers. This is like being prepared for a deposition where you have to represent your company, but also hide some truths that could get them into some deep shit. So this is that's the way depositions work. You have to attest and bear witness to something while you're still hired by a company, which is like it's so weird because it's kind of it's biased, you know. It can affect whether your longevity and your credibility with a company if you don't move right in support of them. So I don't know how that's validated, but anyway, whatever. Um Stop, look, and listen. Okay, so working on my personal triggers here. I don't know, dude. I think it's learning how to console myself better through certain periods of um, undefined circumstances. Um, Sometimes it's just like that, and the more complex you move into certain situations, that's the reality of it. You don't know if it's going to be here or there. It's kind of like when the cable guy comes or some utilities person comes in, like they need you to have a 12-hour window open. Do you know how bogus that is? That's fucking crazy. Here, it's under the similar circumstance, but more legit in saying that, let's say, if you're going into like a special ops um, program, um, there are certain things that you need to stabilize to be self reliant and self sufficient in. And so you have to have a huge range of um, flexibility without compromising your health and wellness to be able to get through it on like that's where you set that's at bare minimum that should be your equilibrium. um that's where it's supposed to be. Is like whether or not you're in spirituality, you know that there's different there's like you don't control everything. And so when you are assigned to more purposeful arena, or when when you're fixed into um more purposeful assignments, it puts those arenas to a test when that's not really the items of concern. It should never be items of concern. That's what the thing is. These are bigger things to areas to navigate. So um, certain basics must be locked in. Um, mhm. So I don't think this is saying that like I'm at a lacking. Um, this is just considering a larger window of opportunity where I can refine these areas. Okay. Um, it's not saying that I'm not getting it yet because I don't understand it or I'm not integrating perfectly or correctly. It's just saying you might as well use this as an opportunity to strengthen these portions up. Mhm. It'll make it so much easier, in the long run. Mhm. Uh, for sure. Okay, whatever that means. Sometimes I get so sucked in trying to figure shit out. Okay, anything else? No. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna close it there. I thought there was gonna be, I thought I did not expect there to be so much of that. I didn't expect there to be so much of that. And I'm not going to scrutinize whether that messes me up in any way. I feel like if it were ultimately horrible and like not right for me to say or unsafe or whatever, then there are greater powers that would shut this shit off at the time before even that happened. And so I'm all right. I'm going to move on. It's time to go night night. So now that this reading is officially over, I thank all my sponsor supporters. All donations provided in and of light and love that reciprocate equally and therefore abundantly. But now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my power, energy, essence, gifts, strengths, properties, passions, pursuits, and prospects from those that call upon cast, generate, bring, magnify, multiply, or any variation thereof, the aforementioned ill will, intent, thought form, pattern, and or entity, to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit for cleansings and blessings and reformatting the love and light energy, and then to be refortified in me, only me, hassle-free, no doubt, and no attachment, except for all bonus points included. Thanks so much. Okay. Upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due. Assisting with a sequence of rollout and light and love, I close the portals in these readings. Now. There we go.